listening to Dollars and Cents, brought to you by Midwest Money Management, your local full-service, comprehensive financial planning team. Midwest Money Management, where hope is not a strategy.
Connor is a certified financial planner professional at Midwest Money Management, and we're happy to have him here. Connor, I have been waiting to get a professional group in here to talk money. I think this is one of those things in radio that, first off, people, even at my age, get scared to talk about, let alone talk about your buddies. Then if you find one who wants to talk about it, he knows everything, and it's just one of those things. I thank you for being here. We're calling the show Dollars and Cents. Connor, thanks for coming.
Al, thanks for having us. I got to tell you that that is something that I think is ringing more and more true. Not only are people generally a little bit shy or even ashamed to talk about money, but the content, especially on the internet out there now about money, man, is it tough to sift through the bad stuff. And I will say, the really, really strong opinions, a lot of times are the ones that are actually really, really wrong, which is kind of scary.
See, and I don't want to rip on another show, but there's a guy on one of these cable shows. And he just did, the markets in his thing, and he's screaming at the TV all the time, and buy, and sell. And then they did this thing, because you're like, oh, he must know. He's on a big, fancy network. Then they did a thing, and he's like 20% worse than if you just put $1 in the S&P. I mean, it was just, when you do, it's horrible.
I think without mentioning any names, I think I know who you're talking about. There's actually a inverse him, meaning do the exact opposite, and it's doing pretty well, so... it's a tough game. Even the pros can get it wrong, I guess.
Well, you can, but I guess it's the idea that you yell out to America, do this, and somehow you think, well, that must be great for everybody, because everybody's in the exact same situation, right? So that's why that kind of management advice seems a little awkward. But here's what I like to do. Let's get this set up so people know what we're talking about. Dollars and Cents, a new show here on the show. Midwest Money Management, your group. Who are you? How big are you? What are you? What does Midwest Money Management do?
Yeah, so we are a what I would call small and certainly family-owned financial planning firm here in the south side of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. We were founded in 1999. We actually just this fall celebrated 25 years in business. We had Thank you. Yeah, we hosted a boat cruise on the Mississippi, which, by the way, if you've never done that, awesome time. Just awesome. Our two business partners, our president and vice president, merged their practices 10 years ago this fall, and we've just kind of been chugging along ever since. We are now four financial planners on the team, and then two support professionals that help us out. So a team of 6 to 7, depending on what we're looking at. And so one thing that's different about us, we use the word comprehensive, and it's become a bit of a buzz term, frankly. But we do what we would call cradle to grave planning, whether it's saving for your new baby or your baby that's coming, all the way to estate distributions and protection and investment management and retirement, how to buy a car. I mean, we kind of anything that has to do with your financial picture, we're talking to clients about that. That's what we do.
Okay, because I got the my bank guy. He thinks he's my money manager because he's my bank guy. Then I got the insurance guy who wanted to sell me, whole life put in there, and it raises me. This is great. And everybody, my wife, she's the money manager in my house. So when you call yourself Midwest Money Management, I just want to know, what exactly we're talking about. So let's, if we can, go through the difference. And I'll just use my life. It's all I can use. So 20-year-old Al gets that first job. I would say at the time I didn't have two nickels to rub together, but you want to start at that time, start thinking about when you're 60-year-old Al on the other side. Don't have money, don't come to Midwest Money Management. I mean, what does it take what's the 20-year-old got to do or be in a part of to call you? Or do you know what I'm saying? When do we start this?
So here's the thing, Al. We work with folks that frankly we just want to work with. We don't have account minimums at our firm, which is something it's pretty unheard of in our industry. We've kind of built the firm in a way that's scalable, where we can help people that we just want to help. We definitely have young professionals, whether that's kids of current clients or someone who comes in and's just got a good head on their shoulders, like you said, the 20-something-year-old 59-year-old that's thinking about 60-something them.
Yeah.
And we'll help them out. We'll talk through their 401k generally, or 403b maybe at work. Hey, how much should you be contributing? What do you think you should be investing that in potentially, or at least hear your options? A lot of time there's 8 to 12 options, We're going to talk about, hey, this is how much you probably should consider getting saved in some cash. We might even help them through with their health insurance, benefits and what to select there. Just try and make sense of all these huge adult decisions that have kind of all of a sudden thrust upon them, right?
I would use that. Okay, so my youngest getting out, he's going to become a teacher next year. So they have the teacher retirement fund. This is back to the words like diversify. My wife's a teacher as well. So when I first marry her, I find out she's in the teacher retirement fund, and I will say this, I know you're not. They invested in the Mall of America. It was a big story. I mean, 30-some years ago, big story. And I said, what in the world are you doing investing in the biggest mall in Bloomington for heaven? And it was fantastic. I mean, I know nothing. But I also know that her and I weren't making decisions on where that gets put, right? I mean, they went to the mall, that's on them. It worked out, got it. That isn't a diversification, right? So at the same time, my wife has a 403B.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, whatever that means. But I presume she has some ability to judge. Here's what I want to do. So my son, now I'm going to get into this. He'll have the teacher thing. He can't do anything about it. Money goes, they figure it out. But if he went into the 403B category, he comes to his old man, hey, Dad, do I want to be in the World Global Market Fund, or do I want to be in the...
Yeah.
What do I know?
Yep.
Is you smile because that stuff makes sense to you.
Absolutely.
I want the fast global world. That one sounds great.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it did anything. How do I know?
Right.
Is that...
Here's the thing, Al. It's tough because, and this is actually a personal passion of mine. Our team is wading into the social media game. Like we said at the top of the segment, there's a lot of horrible information out on social media. That's where people are getting info these days. Yeah. And we want to try and become a better source of real and true information. And we just put out a post a week and a half ago, a bunch of financial lingo. Here's the jargon. And a personal passion of mine is I don't like the feeling, and I don't like people to have the feeling of you're at the water cooler, you're at the cocktail party, you're at dinner, and this loud friend you're talking about, you're at the golf course, he or she's spouting off about this investment and the global this, and you're just nodding along because you have no idea what they're talking about. I don't like that.
That's me.
Yeah. I figured you'd relate to that. No, but nobody likes that feeling of like, what are they talking about? And unfortunately, in our world, there's a lot of complicated things, and so we're trying to make the complex simple. For your son, for example, what's going to be happening there is probably a pension, which is kind of its own thing. And then there's that 403B. The 403B or the 401k, these are all just the IRS code sections that allow these accounts to exist. That's why they call them that. But there's a million of these numbers and words and diverse, those are things that I'm hoping we can demystify for your listeners.
And let's do that. I've got to go to break. On the other side, I would throw out, I believe with mine was a 401k when I started
probably,
with.
Yeah.
Okay, but the company had picked out whatever the name of the group was at the time that they were investing in, or the company picked it. They had 5 or 6 of these options that I could buy. How much do you want in this? Like I said, I got to diversify 20% in all 5, and I had I'm thinking I'm being brilliant, and I have no clue. Let's talk about what those things mean and being diversified after this. We've got more. It's Dollars and Cents with Midwest Money Management.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
We've got Connor with Midwest Money Management. He is a certified financial planner professional at Midwest Money Management, and it's dollars and cents. So, Connor, when we go into the break, so as an example, when I went in the first time I had the opportunity to buy into the stock market and become a grown-up man, I had no clue. 5 different, 10, I don't know if they had 10, 5, whatever it was. And they all have great names, big ball market caps and little ball market caps and all these weird things. I have no idea. Now, you have, I think you said 4 professionals with right?
Yep.
You guys can't know all of those types of things with all the different companies in all the different world, right? Can you? You don't.
Well, not directly always. I will say there's a lot of commonality. You know, we look at these plans all day, every day. We deal with, I mean, seriously, probably tens a week or certainly a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times there's some big companies that tend to own market share. They have their funds in there. Or, you know, there tends to be a handful of mutual funds that are simply just kind of the best ones right now that a lot of these plans grab. Here's the deal with the 401k, the 403b, these plans at work. They are accumulation vehicles. Accumulation meaning, you know, set it and forget it. It comes out of your paycheck automatically. Just automatically save money over time, accumulate dollars, and you hope to get some investment gains over time, you know, over your working years. But really, you're piling money in there, and when you get closer to retirement, now it's about managing and those kinds of things. We help our clients all the time. You know, we can't actively manage your 401k, obviously, but what we can do is look at the list. Take our software that ranks the actual mutual funds. We can look at the strengths of it, the weaknesses of it. We can look at what we think is happening right now in the world. You know, maybe you don't want big ballpark, mega, whatever global you said. Maybe you want small ballpark. You know, but we can have those
caps.
conversations.
I think they call them caps, right? Ball caps or big caps or
cap,
money caps.
Actually,
I don't know what.
Let's demystify that. So cap or capitalization is basically size of company. So Apple is the biggest company on the planet. It's a now mega cap. So there used to be small, medium, or middle, and large. Now there's mega. And there's also now I'm forgetting the term for the one that's really, really small. But there's super small.
Micro.
Also. There you go. It's micro.
Is it? Oh, I could be a money guy. Let me ask you this, though, because we're trying to find out about you guys. I get you guys understand all this stuff. But what would you say is Midwest Money Management's philosophy in it? Buy large, sell low. I mean, buy low and sell large. What is your guys' style? Do you have a style?
Yeah, no, I think we do. From the investment management side of things, the first thing is take a step back, especially in times like this year where markets have been up, markets have been down. You watch the news, you get bummed out. It seems like, you know, in the morning you can get bummed out about one thing, in the afternoon you're bummed out about something else. We do in our investments, now this is kind of outside of the work plans, take a pretty unique approach to protecting our client, you know, accounts and principal, while also advancing. And the goal is to achieve the client goals. And this is where I was going with this. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the emotion because this is money. Again, it's the same reason that, like we talked about, folks don't talk about it or they're ashamed of it. It's a very personal and emotional thing. And so our job is to help clients make logical decisions while not discounting or just throwing away the fact that this is their lives. This is what will support their lives. So our goal is to help clients achieve their goals, whatever that might be for an individual.
Okay. And so I don't put that. That's got to be, as much as we all think we're all like, that's got to be 100% different for every human that walks through your door.
Yeah, I mean, probably not 100% different. I mean, the truth is, you know, a lot of times folks land in the, hey, I want to retire at this age. Hey, I have 3 kids and I want to save this for them. Or, hey, you know, I want to buy a house in 5 years. What do you think I need? The specifics of those needs certainly are down to the individual or the couple. But a lot of the big stuff, you know, is kind of that big muscle stuff. You don't have to worry about the little things necessarily on an individual basis. But we bring somebody in, we make sure we're a good fit, make sure the things that we provide in our philosophies match up with what they believe in or what they agree with. And then, you know, we kind of deconstruct their whole situation. We build up what we call a client portal, and we just see where they're at. We ask what's most important to them. We have a list of about 57, I think it is now, items that we advise clients on. And we just kind of take it one by one and say, hey, have you considered this? Hey, do you have a will? Hey, where are you at from protecting, your income or what's the deal with your savings? Like how can we get you a cushion in case the car goes out or somebody breaks an ankle or something? So everybody's different, but there's a lot of things that we can help people really get on a good path pretty quickly a lot of times.
When I knew you were coming on the program and we were doing this, I get thinking about where people move in this lane. You got the new guy getting in, has no clue, the Al at 20 years old. You probably got the 35-year-old. Now you're married. Now you got two, if you will, 401k and the 403b, two people that might be throwing in, but now you got kids and they ruin everything. And then you got the 50-year-old where you're finally making money, right? And then you got the 60, 65, 70-year-old where maybe you're a married couple and the one who is running the books, if you will, manages the money, he passes. And otherwise, like, are we doing this right? What have I got going on? There's 4 or 5 generational times that people are in the market for a dollars and cents like Midwest Money Management, right?
Yeah. Well, there are, and the truth is there's a whole bunch of reasons why somebody might go, I need to get my affairs in order, or I need to, when we have prospective clients come in for that first meeting, which we call a compatibility consultation, we often ask them, hey, why now? And we do get people across the gamut, the early 20s, the 30s, a couple kids. We have had folks come in and they're, mid 50s or even 60s. And again, interestingly, across that board, there's some of that shame again. I should have done this sooner. I don't know if I have enough, or I don't know if I'm on track. And the truth is, we don't know until we dig into the details with them. But the old adage, it's never too late, or better late than never. Those are all true. So it's a matter of collecting the details, figuring out what they want or what they need. And either, yep, you're on track, let's keep doing this, or hey, we need to make a couple of changes, or let's make this more efficient. Let's squeak out some tax savings here. There's a lot of things that we can do to help somebody, kind of stabilize their situation.
And how hard is it to do? If I were to call Midwest Money Management, is that my first step in the door? Send an email? What is that first step?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are really referral built as a firm. A lot of times, people are coming in because their neighbor or their friend or their brother or sister or their mom or dad or whatever are like, hey, you got to go talk to the team at MMM. Whether it's checking out our website, MidwestMoneyManagement.com, you can shoot us an email. You can email any of us, Connor, CONNOR, or team@MidwestMoneyManagement.com. Yes, it's all spelled out. No, 3M was not available for obvious reasons. And you can call us. I mean, you can Google us, you can call us. Yeah. So, we're approachable. And like I said, we call it a compatibility consultation. We sort of joke it's like a first date. And we go, hey, do you kind of get good feelings from us? Do you agree with what we're telling you? And are we a good fit for you? We aren't looking to, make a circle fit into the square hole, so to speak.
All right, so do this for me. How do we get a hold of you? What's the best way if somebody wanted to do it today?
Yeah, so I think the easiest way, and I think there's a whole bunch of stuff, is go to our website, MidwestMoneyManagement.com, or literally shoot me an email, Connor@MidwestMoneyManagement.com. We'll hook up for a call, and we can just see if it makes sense.
Connor, I appreciate you doing this for me. It's called Dollars and Cents. We're going to do it on a regular basis. We're going to bust down all this craziness that is financial planning, and I'm glad there are guys like you that are willing to read up all that stuff and figure out what it is, and you're willing to share. Thanks for being on the show, Connor. Appreciate you a ton.
Thanks, Al. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Dollars and Cents, brought to you by Midwest Money Management, your local full-service comprehensive financial planning team. Midwest Money Management is located at 17316 Kenyon Avenue in Lakeville, Minnesota. Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Incorporated. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Incorporated and JW Cole Advisors Incorporated are unaffiliated entities. Any opinions expressed are those of Midwest Money Management and not necessarily those of JW Cole Financial. You should consult a qualified professional for advice on tax and legal matters.